I greet you in the love and in the light of the Ultimate One Creator. I've just, been quiet over the last few months with the crypto because, we've been on a bit of a knife edge, to tell you the truth. We break under, um, we break under this current level of support, and we're going to go down to the downside. We're going to roll now. Realizing we're on this knife edge, true investors see it as an opportunity to be savages and take their belongings and run, and run with the money. Now, the market's the market. Up, down, left, right. It don't matter where it goes. It's can you hold the savageness inside you long periods of time, where maybe 2 year bear market, 3 year buy market, when you get into there's every investor always says time in the market, impossible. Time in the market. You running? So, we're getting to that point now where it's, coming on 5 years, I've been in the markets, from one market to the other market. It's all the same. It doesn't matter if it's commodities, currencies, or, they're all there. All indices are there, to be used. Now, when it gets close to the moonshot, most people are just, I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't know which it's going to go. Most people just stop and pull out, and But I just jump in both foot then, because there's fear in the market. Savages come along and just take it all. Understand what I mean? Just take all that money that people have lost, of a case of with fright. You understand? But I'll have it. I'll have it because, one deserves it. One deserves the respect that's coming to him. One deserves the money that comes to him. One deserves it all. Now, what should we do for the rest of the community? I know, let me think, Sunday, my cousin and his wife and the 4 kids have moved house. And I like helping them a little bit. Not over the top, but enough, enough to say significant, for them, So they move up with that. We never heard much from them because they were busy, putting boxes up, putting beds back up. How it is when you move and it's stressful. Right? So I thought on Sunday I'll drive down. So I drove down Sunday, seen them, and they were like, "Oh, we're going out, we're panic, we've got to meet." They were in a bit of a rush, So I did what I did best, what I do best. I slowed them down. Not much though, not much. So then I went round Morrison's. I was in a good mood, singing and dancing as I do, and I just thought, there's all this produce here. Everybody else is struggling to buy the nicer things in life. So I invested £500 of my hard-earned liquor in other people's food. And I did what no investor ever does. I give it all away. I just bought loads of meat. Steak. Not steak, just a lot. Morrison's let me into their meat warehouse where there's a lot of value of money. And of course, hands were just pointing at, I told them I was like Michael Jackson. Now, I was just joking. This is just a pure joke. I'm well off. I'm not, Michael Jackson rich. So I said to him, look, I'm like Michael Jackson. Can you close this shop for me when I come shopping? And they're like, I looked at him deadly serious and I thought, are you as rich as Michael Jackson? and I think she half believed it for a little while till I told her the truth, of course. But, I just stood in Morrison's with a shopping trolley full of meat. Well, numerous shopping trolleys, to be totally honest. Because one shopping trolley went to my cousin and his wife. And, the other shopping trolley went to where, passers-by. My best friend's mum was in there doing a bit of shopping, so she got a bunch of flowers and some meat and whatever else. I just did that for people who I think deserve. I mean, I seen an old lady, listen to this one. This is what really pushed my buttons. I seen an old lady buying some ham, no bread. I seen people buying other things, other items that they need. I know they might have had it at home and all that. But I strongly suspect some people are going in there, or a lot, or 90% of people are going in there without the things that they really want. Things that they need, the essentials, they're probably going to get, but not the things that they really want. And my life's all about, making sure everyone's happy, being service to the creator or service to others, Now, I like that. I like making people happy. I don't like making people sad. And when I look at people's eyes, or right through to the souls, there's just sadness on this planet now, And, I can't see it getting any better. Because, well, it will get better in 8 years, but 8 years, isn't it? Can people endure 8 years of slavery again? Another 8 years after the 5,000 years minimum. I mean, I don't like going back too far because I've gone back far enough over the course of my life. So now I like looking forward, innit? And, because time, space is irrelevant to me. I can move from one to the next time frame. In my mind, because time is just nothing but an illusion. It's time that doesn't exist. Everything happens now all at the same time. And other people just don't grasp that. Do you understand? So when you grasp it, you just think, fucking hell, shit. And it takes you a little bit of time to comprehend it and understand it and play with it, practice it. It's like anything, isn't it? You've got to practice, what you preach and, practice how you do these moves. And it's about getting your consciousness out of your body. I mean, if anyone can observe their body from the outside, you're a winner. Trust me, you're a winner. And this leads to the awakening process. It speeds the awakening process up, should I say. Then you get, then you get just happy people. You understand that? We're connected again to our life's purpose. So when we connect to our life's purpose, we only want to do these things. We don't want to do the things that are not in our life's purpose. So we forget all about the rest of the world. And not the rest of the world, people, the rest of the things that are in the world that we we thought were important to us at some stage. But, once you connect to your true self again, you don't need anything else on the external world. In fact, you want to propel it away from you, because it just slows you down spiritually. Is anybody going to give fasting a go? If they're really rich, well, they aren't, are they? So You know, there's only daft people who fly all the way to where Mexico, you know, and want to endure. You know, if you watch a program on the telly and you think, oh, I wonder what it's like in Sinaloa, you know, in Mexico, you know, I wonder what it's like in these big cities and things like that. And they're like, you know, obviously it's, you know, war-torn sort of thing, gangs and things like that. So, you know, you just go and appreciate it, don't you? You know, the knowledge that I've got, and, you know, I was arrested for 3 days, not for 3 days, for 36 hours. And they said to me, you know, we'll give you enough. They kept me for a long time, 20 odd hours. Then they said to me, we'll give you options. You pay, I forget what the number was because I didn't entertain it for a second because they already stole my money on the way in. You understand? They stole my money on the way in. Then they thought that I would go to the cash bank and give them more money just to look after me. You must think you're the English government, do you? You must think you're every government on the planet. Yeah. So I quickly rearranged their thinking to whatever time you think I deserve to stay in this prison with rats, with, I don't know, 30 odd people, 40 people maybe is in this little bit of a cell. People battering each other and all that, fighting like dogs, you know what I mean? Getting fed out of dogs' bowls. So I just took all my clothes off me and I laid in the cell. Lord looking, you know what I mean? I laid there in my cell, right? And when the doors opened, you should see the respect of everybody. I mean, these people can't speak my lingo, you understand? Not more than maybe a few bits of words. But every little Mexican person, I mean, they wouldn't put anybody in my cell until they found one person big enough, you know. So when he come into the cell, I quickly shook him down, made him turn around and face the wall. And that's where that man stayed. So I'm laid down on the floor. There's an English guy comes in, so they stick him in our cell with, there's 3 of us in there, like, there's nothing in the cell, no door, I'm on the concrete floor. There's a little shitter in the corner, but you can't use it because there's no room water. So, you know, it's like, you know, goosed. So this was my fasting. So obviously I'm in 5-star hotel accommodation, right? Then they say to me, do you want some food? And I just put my band up like that, you know, your hotel band, and say, I'm 5-star, son, I'll wait till I get out. You know, they were trying to get me to drink water. And obviously, shall we say, picky with my waters. Picky what I ingest. Where I only want to ingest the best quality stuff. You understand? Where you're not getting best quality. I mean, the drink, right, was a loose hose pipe, right, with a knot in it, right? Then a bottle, you know, like a Coke bottle with a top cut off it. A bit like an upside down bong. So they were putting the water in that and putting their hands in it, in the water, and just walking around and giving people a drink from each cell. So I recreated it in the Middlesbrough cell. But there was something that the Middlesbrough cell, I mean, obviously I didn't have a drink in Mexico for 36 hours, but I was arrested on some kind of, I would say bullshit charges, but they did charge me. Basically, I was in my house asleep. The officers come rushing in, picked me up, dragged me down to the station, right? Leave me in the station for the first 24 hours, okay? Bear in mind, I don't eat when I'm in the cell, or drink. Then realise that they've got nothing to charge me on because, you know, one didn't do anything. So it gets them a little bit frustrated, shall we say. So what they then did, is, I know what we'll do. We'll just play Russian roulette with this crazy nigger. So they get me out myself, tell me I'm going home. But obviously I have numerous homes. So you can't go back to that house because they tell me I can't go. No, they don't tell me what property I can go to, basically. So I'm asking the question: what property do you want me at? Where am I getting bailed to? And there's no answer to that. There's no answer to that. So I'm shouting, I love yous. Appreciate you for that, for the 2 days you've been in here. So that's 48 hours, no food, no drink. I think towards the end, they figured that he can't be persuaded with anything we've got. The food isn't my food. The only thing I ever need is the air that I breathe. It's honest. I mean, I like a little fuck. I like this. I like that. But I don't need it. It needs me. Because it doesn't exist without me. So, you've got to give thanks and praises every time for seeing what's real and what's not. But we're dancing in the street again. So, where we go with this? So the police then arrest me there, or they take me out the cell. I know where we're at. They take me out the cell, and they start pushing me and pulling me, and trying to get me to, let me go. And there was go that way. Then they're changing the man. People are pointing in all different directions, as you clearly see on the camera, to which direction to leave. Then when we get past the officers, where all the officers are, 9 of them all gather around me, and they all start punching me from the inside, on the inside. And I tell you now, not one of them got a good dig on him. Not one of them have got a good dig on him. But what they did, they pushed the civilian people, and the police stood up around them. So they were getting the civilians to punch me and pull me. But they weren't punching. The ones with the police officers weren't punching me because they were using the low-level opportunities to get them to punch you. You understand? Now, the officers, because they think they're big and strong and can be taken down and dragged from their office by the law. And there will be. I tell you, come 9 years, they'll all lose the job. Every one of them. Every officer in 9 years will lose their job. 8 years, sorry. In fact, I think it's more like 7 years now, thinking about it. I think it's more like 7, coming up to 7. We're in it, we're in the 8th. It's probably 8 years, but 7 years in mathematical terms. Right. So, everyone's thinking now, well, how are they going to lose their jobs? Who's going to do the policing? We don't need policing. Because everybody will all become 100% transparent and honest. We won't go stealing. We won't go robbing. We'll just exist. See, I'm off this, I'm off for this moment. I'm just ready for it because, I'm one of the lucky ones who it's happened to a bit first, but it happened to everybody at that time frame. We could change the future. You understand? We can affect the future. By the things I say today affects the future. In 8 years, because I'm telling people 8 years prior. But if everybody doesn't want that to happen, and I mean everybody on the planet, and they start thinking of another system, another way of doing things, transparency, honesty and loyalty and love, and then all them high emotions that I talk of, and not negative emotions like hate, loathing. There's only so few I can mention because they're not in my repertoire, shall we say? Because I'm the King of the North, and I'm pleased to be the King of the North, and I don't care what jobs the new police officers go and do. But I hope it's something nice, and I hope it's something respectful, and I hope it's, more importantly, humbling. Do you understand? They've got to be humbled. Every one of us. We've got to humble each other, because no one's more important than anybody else. We're all just equal, and I know that we're equal, and I just keep telling people we're equal. As high up as a crypto investor as I get, I still know I'm the same as anyone. That old lady in the Morrison's with the missing bread, I'm just the same. Old ladies struggling to pay the bills. Young people struggling to pay the bills, and the bit in between, it doesn't really matter to them because they're working and they're intelligent enough to see the truth, of the systems. Anyway, there's a 20-minute one there for these people, and I'm, pure love every time, if you see me in the street, come and holler. And if you see me, in Morrison's with a shopping trolley and I haven't got the family with me, please help yourself to anything in my basket, but after the checkout. Not in when I'm shopping, put it in the basket after the checkout. Because obviously a lot of people are going to, gather around, aren't they? Just to, to take home some free meat. And I wouldn't. I'm not proud of it. I'd do that. If someone was giving something away for free, I'd go and say thank you for it. And I'd give them the blessings. But I'd give them the thanks. I wouldn't take it unless I really wanted to appreciate it. I was appreciative. I wouldn't take it if I didn't need it. So this is why I give it away, because that bit of meat, I mean, I like meat and I eat meat, but I don't need it. I like my seafood, but I don't need it. I eat well because I prepare my food well, and not really expensive cuts of meat, or just because it's given the tender and the love and the care and the appreciation. I'm going out. Sorry to go off a beaten track here. I'm going out with Bowinkle today, DJ Bowinkle. I'm going to take him for his breakfast at 9 o'clock. Just to say hello to him, because, I do love him. He's over in Norton. He hasn't got these lovely people that he grew up with close to him. So he's just over there chilling. So I often pop over. He gives me a CD because, he likes me to listen to his best music. He gives me a little CD and we talk, and and I love spending a little bit of time. Obviously with the family, I don't get to spend much time, but I do love his energy, and he's just his honesty. You understand, which you just don't get everywhere. He's someone who's not crowded in bullshit. He's just crowded in honesty. He just says how he feels when he feels it. And really we can learn a lot of these people that have that inside them, that they just speak the mind when they want to speak the mind. They don't have to just think, egoic. You understand what I mean? Don't have to go that bullshit, egoic and stuff. Anyway, people, pure blessings. I'm going to have my breakfast, then I'm going to go and see my son at the hospital for about 10 o'clock. By the time they wake up and get all sorted, because I've been on the phone with them since about 6, but she's knackered because she was up all night with the feeds. So I don't really know if they've got, so she wasn't in the best of moods to talk, so I can't go there talk to my, well, she's not my girlfriend no more, she's my ex-girlfriend. You know, I can't go there talk to her like that because she'll blame me for not being there. But I can't get in the bed, I can't stay there. So everything's, you know, I've told her, why doesn't she go home for a couple of nights and have a sleep? And but you know, that's not good enough because, you know, Ashley's so independent, part one, you know, and she's, you know, she's the mother and I'm the father, you know, but together, we're mother, father, always. So no matter what people think or say, we're always mother, father. Gaia, you know, that's the book we're all about. Everybody's everybody, you know. You know, contemplate that in your minds everywhere. You know, when you look at someone, you see an enemy. You picture yourself as that enemy. You understand? And you'll realise in time you haven't got any enemies. We're all just people. There's not an enemy on this planet for me. You know, and I love every one of you. You know, deeply. I just don't think people grasp. You know, I say to them, I love you, and they look at me in the street and think, you love me? You don't even know me? How do you know? Well, actually, I don't know you. You know, I quickly explain to them how I know you and how I feel. And I'm probably going to align with my higher. Well, I'm already aligned with my higher powers, but I'm going to align with this part of my soul that's separate from me. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how else to describe this, to be honest. It's like my soul is in different places at the same time, the same time-space continuum. And this keeps going until you enter the high dimensions. Then it can't be done no more. You know, only in the third density. You know, right up to the third density can we have souls in differently. But it's impossible once you move on because we've all got a group together. And this is what we're doing now. As humans, we're grouping together and, you know, like with Ra Collective. It's a group of consciousness, it's not just one. So, you know, a long way that's continue. Anyway, peace and love, people. The Rastaman. Pure love, people.